Hello everyone, I've got some new important updates that absolutely deserve your attention from the very start to the very end of this video. And the first one is coming out of Germany. The German authorities are right now full steam ahead, developing a draft law that would strip Ukrainians of their unemployment benefits. And the reason, as they're explaining it, is that Germany is facing a massive influx of Ukrainian youth, specifically young men aged 18 to 22, after the borders were opened for them. I used to be on the inside, working for a massive, well-known media organization. I saw firsthand how they twist the facts to fit the approved narrative, and I had to walk away. Now I'm independent, I speak my mind, and I'm here to tell you what's really going on. If you value this kind of unfiltered analysis, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you're in a position to help, please consider becoming a channel sponsor. It's your support that fuels this independence, and I'm deeply grateful for it. Now back to Germany. Jürgen Hart, a high-ranking deputy from the Christian Democratic Union, Friedrich Merz's party specializing in foreign policy, has announced this very loudly. He said, "We are not interested in having young Ukrainians spend their time in Germany instead of defending their country." He claims Ukraine is making its own decisions, but that recent changes in their legislation have led to a migration trend that, in his words, we must fight. A very harsh clarification has been made. It's been announced loudly. It's all published. It's also being reported that Germany has about 490,000 working-age Ukrainian citizens receiving long-term unemployment benefits. Friedrich Merz's coalition, which is feeling more and more budget pressure and generally wants to slash social spending, is now working on this new bill to strip people of these benefits. That's the declaration. It's worth noting that the Social Democratic Party, the SPD, doesn't agree with their coalition colleagues on this. Meanwhile, other representatives of Germany's political leadership want to just wait and see if the arrival numbers stay high before making any changes, before voicing their own opinions. So we are watching very closely to see what specific measures will be taken and when, and what other opinions emerge. But given the bureaucratic hurdles, the process probably won't be fast, despite the serious interest they claim to have. Also, following the Chancellor's comments about changes in the urban landscape, his party is now proposing to revoke dual citizenship. That's right, the CDU/CSU, Friedrich Merz's union, is proposing to speed up the procedure for stripping citizenship from individuals with dual citizenship who commit crimes in Germany. And they're also questioning the retention of other citizenships during future naturalizations. In short, concrete changes are definitely coming in this direction. It's really just a matter of time. But there is an interesting, shall we say, moment out of Germany today, not without its curiosities. For some, it might even be positive. The Federal Minister of Housing, Urban Development and Construction, Verena Hubertus, she's a member of the Social Democratic Party, decided she wanted as many people as possible to know who she is, and not just in her own country. She decided to launch a TikTok account with a creative approach and has already managed to surprise more than just German citizens. For example, she filmed a video where she's sitting on a bench and happily clapping all by herself while text appears on the screen saying, "Applauding myself for not losing patience until turbo construction finally starts." There's another clip too. On her way to the Bundestag, she's walking with this very unusual gait, as you might notice, just filled with joy, trying to charge everyone watching her video with positivity. Her message is, the best is just beginning. So, apparently, there's new hope in Germany that the housing shortage will finally be solved as soon as they launch turbo construction. Meanwhile, over in France, the president of the Republican Party, Bruno Retailleau, who is a very well-known politician in France and beyond, has called on Emmanuel Macron, the French president, to follow the example of General de Gaulle, make a decision and resign. General de Gaulle did it, he said, a very clear message. He emphasized that it takes courage for a politician to make such a step. The Republican Party leader believes that a return to elections is inevitable given the political and budget crisis that has now gripped France. He says France has no way out of this crisis, and Macron especially cannot see one. But as we know, Emmanuel Macron has no intention of leaving and denies all calls for it. He cites the fact that he was elected by the French people, whom he will not betray in their difficult hour. If you're getting value from this breakdown, by the way, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel counter the algorithm. Now, regarding broader messages, this time to the leadership of the European Union, 4 centrist factions in the European Parliament have prepared an appeal to the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, demanding substantial changes to her plan for the EU's 7-year budget. We're talking about the 2028 to 2034 budget. In the draft letter, the European People's Party, the Socialists and Democrats, the Liberals from Renew Europe, and of course the Greens are asking the European Commission to revise its budget proposal, which was published back in July. It's critical to note that these 4 groups make up the majority in the European Parliament, the very majority that must approve the budget proposal. So now, they are deeply dissatisfied with the European Commission's plans and with Ursula von der Leyen specifically. A pretty large number of European deputies are demanding VDL change the budget. If the parties don't reach an agreement on the budget proposal, these 4 political groups will bring a resolution to the plenary session of the European Parliament, which starts on November 12th to reject parts of the budget entirely. So a new problem has landed right on the desk of the European Commission. Now we wait to see what, if anything, Ursula von der Leyen will answer. Now let's move to the United States, where things are getting very turbulent. The world media is intensely discussing this. In the American state of Mississippi, laboratory monkeys escaped after a traffic accident. The most frightening part is that according to the initial reports, and initial is the key word here, according to the police, all of them were infected with very different and very dangerous diseases. An alarming warning was issued. People naturally panicked. Although, at the university itself, where this, quote, mysterious research was taking place, they denied this information a little later, which was also expected. They claimed, yes, the monkeys are used in scientific experiments. We don't deny that, but in other areas. But the biggest question remains unanswered. Who should we trust more? The initial police report, or the statement from the lab staff. It's no secret that in this day and age, many people have started to trust research centers far less. There are many reasons for this, even though these centers always make loud, serious statements with very smart expressions on their faces. As of right now, local law enforcement and representatives from wildlife protection agencies are coordinating actions to respond to the incident with the monkeys. That's the vague official formulation for everyone. It's hard to imagine the state of mind of the local people where this all happened. It has also become known that members of the U.S. Armed Forces, those participating in what are being called President Donald Trump's expanding operations in Latin America, have been asked to sign non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. It's noted that this step is unusual, considering the existing obligations military personnel already have to protect state secrets. This move has raised serious questions about the military buildup in the region, a buildup that Venezuela believes could lead to an invasion. As we all know, last week the Pentagon announced the deployment of an aircraft carrier group to the region. This reinforces a presence that experts are saying is much larger than what is necessary for anti-cartel operations. And that, of course, is the officially stated goal of the mission. So it certainly looks like they are preparing for something on a much larger scale than just fighting trafficking, using an entire aircraft carrier and its accompanying group. We are watching this very closely. The intrigue here is enormous. But for now, let's leave all that complexity behind. There's an interesting or rather bizarre moment from Poland today. Although for the Poles who have encountered this rather strange individual, it was no laughing matter. On the streets of the Polish town of Sieradz, a real-life character from a horror movie has appeared. Residents are reporting that an unknown person at night is walking between houses and looking into windows, sometimes shining a flashlight. This person, dressed in a black cloak and wearing the white mask from the movie Scream, was also caught on video surveillance cameras. You can see it in the footage, him walking around and peering into the windows of houses. The video spread like wildfire on social media and sparked heated arguments. Some are convinced it's just a Halloween joke. Others claim the figure has been seen in other parts of the city as well. The police are urging anyone who sees this person to report it immediately. They've already received several statements from alarmed residents. They are naturally terrified. Officers even responded to one of these calls, but they couldn't find the mysterious guest. He vanished. One driver also reported that he encountered the Scream mask at night on a bypass road and was frightened by him. For now, it remains a mystery. Is this just a strange prank, or is it an attempt to frighten the townspeople? That is what's alarming. just how seriously this person in the Scream mask wants to imitate the movie character. We'll be watching to see what happens next, and I'm confident I'll be the first to bring you the important updates. And those are the informational highlights for today, for right now, and they certainly speak volumes. So just to recap, we're seeing Germany moving to cut benefits for young Ukrainians amid budget pressure. We have a French opposition leader calling for Macron to resign over his own crises. The EU Parliament is in a standoff with von der Leyen over the next massive budget. We have escaped lab monkeys causing panic in Mississippi. We have questions swirling around unusual NDAs for US troops in Latin America. And of course, a real-life horror movie character stalking a town in Poland. Write your opinions in the comments. What do you make of all this? If you value this perspective, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you're able to, please consider becoming a channel sponsor. It's your support that allows me to keep doing this work independently and bring you the facts without a corporate filter. I deeply appreciate every single one of you. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching.